All right, fam. Welcome to Black Power Radio. There
Thank
we
you for
go.
being on Black Power Radio.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's start.
Yeah. Just like welcoming everyone to the Wild Wild West. We have the most informative radio talk show on the internet. We are happy that you tuned in tonight to Black Power Radio. You could have gone golfing, swimming, and could have practiced tennis down at the Arthur Ashe uh, tennis courts in Richmond, Virginia. I think there's a group on the way there, but we are glad that you decided to stick and stay. Somebody's mic is open. I'm glad that you decided to stick and stay and not go away and to buckle your seatbelt, sit back and enjoy the ride. You're live for yet another episode of Black Power Radio TV News and all views that are pertinent to revolution at this hour. And divine Black revolution is the only solution. We're right here. I am one of your hosts tonight, Sheikh Al-Imam Akbar Abdullah Kareem. We're live in the state of West Virginia via Washington, D.C. We're happy to be here with Colonel General, our beloved sister, Queen Nzinga Janae, and she's one of the
I'm
hosts
here.
as well. And she's right here
Black power.
live. Black Power.
Black
Take it
power.
away, Sister Janae. My,
All
my.
right, we are ready. Let's go. Okay,
All
here we go.
Put your bad self. Say it loud. Say it loud. Look here. Some people say we got a lot of malice. Some say it's a lot of nerve. But I say we won't quit moving until we get what we deserve. We've been buked and we've been scorned. We've been treated bad, talked about, as sure as you moan. But just as sure as it takes two eyes to make a pair, brother, we can't quit until we get our share. Say it loud. Say it loud. One more time. Say it loud. I was gonna do the kind of gentleman for everything you please. Take the sheet off your face, boy. It's a brand new day. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. If you don't respect yourself, ain't nobody gonna give a good
right. Respect yourself, Black folks. What the dilly, family? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Black Power Radio. We are grateful that
Great.
She had a bad connection earlier, so
We
we
got
want
her
to get
back.
you
We got her
back
back.
in. Yeah, we got her back. She coming back in.
Same thing with
You
all
got a
y'all.
block.
You are not alone.
All right,
That's right.
all right. There we
oh,
go.
You are not
Yeah.
alone.
Got that right.
That's
Never.
right.
I am, yes,
Black
family.
Power,
We
Black
got a
Power,
full
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Salute.
salute,
Walaikum
salute.
salam. Salute,
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 salute.
salute.
Yes, so we are so grateful tonight for you to join us here on Black Power Radio. We have a very special guest that we'll be talking to later on during the show. But this week is the African Union sixth region elections. Now, what is the African Union? Well, it is an agency that started in 68, and it is something to protect the interests of those in the African continent. But the sixth region was created in 2001 specifically to protect us in the African diaspora that is not on the African continent. And so we want to let you guys know, please, to start voting. This week we got a couple of candidates, and one of the candidates will be interviewing tonight. But right now we have to have a body of self-determination. You know, a lot of people are not really understanding the real definition of Black power. what it really means for us to have economic freedom, social power, just changes in our community as a unit. And so I'd like to hear from you, family that's on the stage today. What is your definition of Black Power? We're going to pull up a video from Adam Clayton Powell that will define it for us in a minute. But Shaky Mama Bar, National Chairman, welcome, welcome. Since you are the Chief Gahoda, we'd like you to tell us, what do we tell our young people? What exactly is
Uh,
Black Power when we say Black Power?
when we say Black Power, it is a lifestyle, and a lifestyle that reflects our culture and our belief systems, our spirituality, our socialism, and our politics are reflected in the idealism of Black Power. And that is that our power was taken, and we raise our fist and say Black Power to take Black our power. The power in the Black fist has been underestimated and marginalized through the years. And far too many of us don't use our Black fist to get our power back. And we notice that people around are using it in very high places these days, but they don't know that that is our power. But it can give power to those that use it. And we just have to be
Right.
skillful and effective on how we use Black power, and specifically how we use the Black fist at this hour. They say, reach, lift every voice and sing. But now we're appealing to you. Is it the hour that we lift every Black fist and swing? And we swing at our enemies and be targeted. You have to do the Muhammad Ali float like a butterfly and sting like a bee shuffle and strike your enemy right between the eyes. And we are against the
That's right.
cowards of this earth, the people that will come to Washington and say, we will march as proud boys and racists. Well, we are not racist. We could never be racist. We could never practice racism. And we're not with anyone that practices racism. So to say that there are good people on both sides is not being forthcoming at this hour. In fact, you are a liar,
That's right.
and you are children of fathers and mothers of the devil when you say such a thing to an informed Black man at this hour. He knows there's not good people on both sides. He knows there are only good people on the righteous side. And to be ye self-righteous, but be ye yourself right. And then you can attain the spirit of the divine intervention to practice and supersede and intercede and superimpose your righteousness in a world of tyranny and oppression. And I am told by the good book
That's right.
to
10
override
point.
oppression and tyranny. And we have to fight against oppression and tyranny until there's no more oppression and no more tyranny on the land. And that a tyrannical government, well, the good part, to say man and woman is good. But to support a proud boy or a proud at this hour, you will always be catching hell from the righteous. And we'll to show down the righteous versus the wicked very soon in March on my born day, we'll be in Tidewater, shaking out the righteous versus the wicked. Come and break
Alhamdulillah.
bread with us. Oh,
Alhamdulillah.
my. We're going to have a good old homecoming.
All right.
Huh? And we're going to practice us some family reunions
Yes, sir.
to bring the
I
Black
say,
power and the Black revolution together and celebrate the
Alhamdulillah.
praises of thy
Facts.
Lord. As I land my plane and
That's
welcoming
right.
you,
All
radio,
right.
never underestimate and marginalize the power of divine intervention in your favor at this hour, according to the teachings of the Most Honorable Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad himself. As I land my plane, saying Assalamu alaikum and Black Power.
All right.
Walaikum
Black
salam.
power,
Black
black
power.
power.
Black
Strong
power.
Black military, the Black
That's
at
right.
all at this hour.
Facts.
My. Oh, my.
All right. Thank you so much for
Allahu
that. We
Akbar,
have to
Allahu
remind
Akbar.
ourselves, we got to remind ourselves always, family, that Black power is, again, it's an ideology, it's our soul, it is who we are. And so the Panthers in 66, We played no games as far as what we wanted to start out and see what our community was lacking, and we placed it right in. So we have our brother Philly, our youth leader, brother Shabazz, could tell us a little bit about the encouragement of power to the people and remind us of our 10-point platform that our Cubs today need to emulate. Power to the people.
Absolute. I want to say Black Power, and I want to say thank you to General Janae Cook first and foremost. A few years ago, she put a lot of information on my plate, on my table, and she put me on as far as the Black Power movement and introducing me to the leaders, the former leaders, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and the history of the Black Panther Party. So let me start off with the new Black Panther Party 10-point program. Number one, we want freedom. Number two, we want full employment. Number three, we want tax exemption. Number four, we want decent housing. Number five, we want education. Number six, be exempt from military service. Number seven, end police harassment, brutality. Number eight, we want freedom from city jails and prisons. Number nine, tried in the court by a jury of their peers. Number 10, we demand an end to the racist death penalty. Once again, that's the new Black Panther Party 10-point program, written by Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale. Salute Black Power.
Black power.
Black power.
Thank you, my brother. This is what we're talking about. You teach the righteous the right way to our cubs and promise you they will not be led astray. How true it is right now that these 10 points are needed more than ever for self determination. So, we're going to go into a little political strategy later on during the show. I am your co host, your friendly neighborhood policy analyst, Dr. Truth Bay, Minister of Justice, and we take the law seriously. We need to have some Black power in legislation, and that's what we're all about. So it's not just about dialogue, family. We are in these streets every day. We're feeding our communities. We're helping housing our unhoused families and really advocating for the families within the civil and human rights violations. And so that's why I take pride in being melanin in queen in our skin. Never ever want to wake up another shade of brown than the darkest hue you can find. And this is what we need to remind ourselves and remind our young people where they came from. It is not an epiphany on why we are the most hated culture in the world, but it is up to us to remind ourselves who we are and uplift each other. So, Black family, again, thank you for joining us on Black Power Radio. We're here every Sunday and Monday, and we're actually turning into our new platform next week. We'll still be right here available to you, but now you'll be able to purchase your membership for the Panther News Network, in which you'll have all things, Black information and news, economic empowerment advice for the Black man, woman, and child. So with that being said, we want to go a little time in history. We want to honor some of our ancestors and some of our leadership in the past who have really emulated and tried to explain back in the day, even in 68. You do have Adam Clayton Powell, I believe, at UCLA, explaining to the audience the power of what it is to have Black power. So that being said, let's play that footage, and then we'll get right back to our next guest.
I went to St. Louis, Missouri the other day. They had Black Panthers from all over the country. No one knew about it at all. They had machine guns, recoilless rifles, grease guns, Lugers, 25 of them, all armed. And the chief of police met me at the airport when I arrived, and they were there, right there at the steps. He said, "You were violating the law." "Yeah, we're violating the law." He said, "We're tired of our white and black leaders, Jackie and Martin and Bobby, being killed. We're going to protect this man while he's here." And they didn't arrest one of them. Because they said if you arrest one, then someone's going to die, because we are ready to kill. Black power means black dignity. Just as surely as you're proud to be white, we're proud to be black. Black is beautiful, baby. It's pretty.
Right on.
I always say to my brothers, I say, baby, don't worry about the white chicks. We got everything from chalk to charcoal in our own race. You see? Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Black power means dignity. It means we're going to walk side by side with you or through you. We're going to be with dignity and integrity. We don't want any more than you have, and we're not going to accept any less than you have. That's black power.
Right on, right on. And that is the Honorable Adam Clayton Powell giving a little taste in his speeches. And he was prideful. He was not only a politician, but he took pride in Black Power. And so today we need to revive our people and remind them who they are. One of the next speeches that we're going to show you to remind us of who we are was none other than Martin Luther King Jr., who we celebrated his life last week. But did you know that one of the most powerful speeches that actually was the cause of his assassination was the night before he was shot in the balcony, was a speech called "I've Been to the Mountaintop." And we're just going to play a portion of economic empowerment. This is precisely what we're going to be talking about with our next guest as well, the Honorable Lavelle Walton. And again, we are so grateful to have him here with us to give us some knowledge on the current status of the Black African diaspora and as well as the African Union 6 region elections. Okay, so let's cue up "I've Been to the Mountaintop."
Thank you very much. And dresses and shoes to wear down here. They aren't concerned about anything but dresses and shoes.
All right, so before we play this portion, family, I want to remind you, a lot of supremacists, oppressors, they love to quote Martin Luther King because in the beginning of his campaign, he did want to mobilize everyone and really bring together the races, the nations. But as we see moving forward, that is not something that is beneficial to us as the original man. And so that's why people like Martin Luther King towards the end of his life, in where he was telling us to really have and recognize the economic power, that's really what his career sums up to. And when we have power like that and remind our children that our dollar, our economic value is surpassed any other culture, any other nation in the world, this is where we got to get back to. So with that being said, let's watch the speech, "I've Been to the Mountaintop."
Shoes to wear down here. It's all right to talk about streets flowing with milk and honey, but God has commanded us to be concerned about the slums down here and his children who can't eat 3 square meals a day. It's all right to talk about the New Jerusalem, but one day God's preacher must talk about the new New York, the new Atlanta, the new Philadelphia, the new Los Angeles, the new Memphis, Tennessee. This is what we have to do. Now, the other thing we'll have to do is this. Always anchor our external direct action with the power of economic withdrawal. Now, we are poor people. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Never stop. Forget that collectively, that means all of us together, collectively we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. Did you ever think about that? After you leave the United States, Soviet Russia, Great Britain, West Germany, France, and I can name others, The American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? That's power right there if we know how to pool it. We don't have to argue with anybody. We don't have to curse and go around acting bad with our words. We don't need any bricks and bottles. We don't need any Molotov cocktails. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country and say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. And we come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. And so as a result of this, we're asking you tonight to go out and tell your neighbors not to buy Coca-Cola in Memphis. Go by and tell them not to buy Seal Test milk.
He tells me.
Tell them not to buy, what is the other bread? Wonder Bread.
Wonder Bread.
And what is other bread come to Jesse? Tell them not to buy Hart's bread. As Jesse Jackson has said, up to now, only the garbage men have been feeling pain. Now we must kind of redistribute the pain.
All right, we're going to stop right there, family. That is a mouthful. And it was that particular segment, family, that allowed MLK Jr. to be assassinated the very next day. So what do we want to take away from our martyrs, from our ancestors, is the economic power of who we are. So without further ado, I want to introduce our next guest, Mr. Lavelle Walton, who is the CEO of Yehuda Investments and the Bridge to Africa, actually, initiatives to Africa. But before we do so, he's not only a wonderful entrepreneur, but he is one of the candidates for the African Union 6th region. First and foremost, we want to introduce to you what is the African Union 6th region. But let's play some of his talented musical skills before we introduce this wonderful man, LD Walton, in the house on Black Power Radio.
Your honor say, come out of her. Babylon is fallen. Heed the calling. Don't you straddle her. Garvey told us, eyes up. Malcolm told us, wise up. Countless Negroes died from their lives. Will you wise up, young travelers? Believe and return. Be awakened now. Every idol made of wood and stone, you got to take them down. And this is where we pack and make a pact, not relax on our morals. If we die today, long live tomorrow. This is for Philando, Trayvon, Eric Reed, Mike Brown, Ray Shard, George Floyd, Stephen Clark, you count them down. Alton, Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, Tatiana Aura, Tamir Rice, Gabriella Ambriana. Plenty of us died like our black skin's a penalty. Cursed since birth, the only logical extremity. Integration, it offered vulnerability to our enemies, confederate against us. Study Psalm 83. The awakening happened, then coronavirus dropped. Social media changed their policies, many Hebrew channels blocked. Tech giant joined the health industry, said we need a shot. Joe Biden said POTUS looks good, then he commits to shoot his shot. Black people said hooray just to get Trump out of the office, but since when did any president benefit us in office? And when did any prophecy promise us all a profit? These televangelists been screwing my people for heavy pockets. Creflo need $1. Paula White need black angels. Babylon and her heart, it's looking so unfaithful. Dang. They'll tell you, Spoo, church hurt. Well, I swear I'm asking the church, if this Jesus is Hebrew, when Negroes die, who bows first? My people protect their frenemies. How? Mixed intimacy. Wow. Predictive programming vows to keep rolling this out. And y'all think I'm judging. Well, look now. Our blood screams from the ground. Our ancestors cry out. Look what our children allow. They won't return to God's commandments. And their Christian pastors say grace. Urban apologists lie to keep the feed on our plates. They say you are what you eat. We look like pigs in a blanket, cause some in love with the slumber and take the slop at the banquet. I feel my people been duped, desensitized to the truth. Effeminate be the men, emasculated at youth, and black women regroup, defeminize who disputes. It's like a drug to compete. Don't believe me. See the fruits. It's time we men rise up, take a stand in our place, redeeming all that's been lost. Let us restart with our faith. Them Hebrew, them Bantu scriptures, they're ours. We're the seed of the promise. Our king is soon to return. Nothing and no one can stop.
Woo, Bumba. That's a mouthful and a half. And that didn't move you. I didn't know what did.
Okay.
Without further ado, we want to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, L.D. Walton. Welcome to Black Power Radio, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
We can hear you loud and clear. How you
Thank
feeling?
you. Honored to be here.
Yes,
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Honored to be here. Honored to be in the presence of all this Black beauty. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh, to the people, my brother. So that was just a snippet of your wonderful spoken word. But we need to let the audience know that you are actually one of the main leading candidates for an election called the African Union 6th Region. And we want to give you applause for that, first and foremost, for putting yourself out there and really representing the people. So tell our listening audience, who is LD Walton and why we have you on Black Power Radio tonight, brother?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I'm born and raised in Seattle, Washington. Yeah, well, I almost said my age, but now I'll go ahead and say my age. I'm in my 40s, early 40s. Born and raised Seattle, Washington. Just came back from South Africa. I have been living out there for the past 2.5, almost 3 years now. Absolutely love it. I enjoy being on the continent, to smell the air, to eat the food, to hear the voices of so many of our people. Also to be a participant in the growth and success of our people abroad as much as I was here in the U.S. as well. Back in the U.S. now, back here in Seattle, for a few more months before I head on back over there to South Africa and continue some of the work. My background is as an entertainer, and an educator, as well as an entrepreneur. I actually was a teacher for over 20 years now. My goodness, time goes by. Over 20 years, I was in education, but for about 4 to 5 of those years, I was teaching African American male achievement. So I had a class full of all Black boys and teaching them the importance and the innate greatness that's already embedded in each and every one of us, and to be able to appreciate their masculinity and who they are as young men, and never having to apologize for that, but being the best version of themselves for the well-being of our future, our people, and our lineage. So that's me, and I'm continuing to do the work even now. Having business set up in the U.S., building a bridge so that our people can be able to connect with our folks across the water, to be able to trade, to be able to go over there and build and have homes and be able to have business and to be able to support pure Blackness. Someone mentioned earlier Black Wall Street. I believe Black Wall Street, there was many of them all across the U.S. and the idea was flawless. The idea was perfect. We learned our lessons after the destruction of that, and now we have an opportunity to do it on the continent, all across, all aboard, and be able to do great things. It's just going to take some good leadership, good teamwork, and a good vision and a good heart, the right heart. So
that's right. Teamwork makes the dream work. And that made you land up right here on the African Union 6th region elections. Can you tell, for those who may not know the process, We do actually have an instructional video that we'll be playing in later on during the show. But for those, let people know what exactly is the African Union 6th region and why is it important to get involved?
So the African, excuse me, the African Union sixth region. It's Africa itself. The continent of Africa is broken up into 5 regions. So you've got West, North, South, East, and Central. But they also recognize that there were many in the Arab slave trades and the transatlantic slave trades that were taken away. So the children of the continent, or as they say over there, children of the soil, who our ancestors were taken away, stolen, and into slavery in these many countries around the world. So they have to acknowledge the fact that of descent, that we are existing, we are still here, just scattered abroad, which is what the word diaspora means in the first place. So the African Union in the 6th region, or excuse me, the 6th region is the diaspora, and the African Union acknowledges that. And now what we're finding is that they're expressing a lot of interest in building up the type of relationships that are going to be needed. So having strong, good relationships, healthy relationships between those in the continent and those in the diaspora, having participation of our people in the diaspora, participating in the development of Africa, as well as us bringing our skills, talents, knowledge, expertise, and so forth, bringing that back home so that we can see a greater people. And the African Union has been putting forth a lot of work to see that happen. But what we see now is the 6th region, us, the diaspora, speaking up, saying, if you're, or in other words, we're saying nothing about us without us. Oh, I can't hear you, my sister.
Woo, I got so excited, sir. I just silenced myself because you're in this room right now today. I appreciate you though. So we got a few 4-minute video concerning the instructions of the African Union 6th region election. And we'll be right back with our special guest, A.L.D. Walton from Bridge Initiatives and Yehuda Investments. My name is Dr. Critical Desire Truth Bay. I'm a policy analyst for the Global Youth Council. It is an honor to be speaking with you today concerning a movement that holds the power to reshape the collective future of the African diaspora 6th region election. I sit before you today as a proud advocate for unity, progress, and justice. The African Union was established in 2001, building the foundation of the Organization of African Unity, which sought to promote solidarity amongst African nations and eradicate the vestiges of colonialism. Today, the AU is a leading continental body for advancing peace, development, and cooperation across the African continent. But the African Union's vision extends beyond the African borders. It includes the 6th region, which recognizes the African diaspora of those of African descent, not born on the African continent, but born elsewhere. The 6th region was formally acknowledged in 2003, unify the people of African descent worldwide. It consists of 9 subregions, with the United States standing as one of the leading significant regions. A shared history and bond between Africa and the United States is deeply rooted in history. The transatlantic slave trade that forcibly displaced millions of Africans, planting the seeds of the African diaspora throughout the Americas. Despite the unimaginable pain and suffering that era, African Americans and African descendants in the United States have carried toward resilience, creativity, and a powerful desire for justice. Today, African Union is asking you to step into its rightful place in the United States. It echoes a call for equity, equality, restitution, and acknowledgement of the historical injustices that has bestowed and impacted the communities of persons of African descent. The elections will be selecting 20 representatives and their deputies to participate in the African Commission on Human and People's Rights Roundtable in May of 2025 to organize 20 unified voices at this historic event. 4 representatives and 4 deputies will be elected to ensure that the interests and challenges and opportunities of African descent in this nation are represented in a continental level. These individuals will serve as bridges between Africa and the United States, advocating for policies and initiatives that align with the broader goals of reparatory justice, economic empowerment, and cultural unity. Talitha Davis, health coach and CEO of Damsel Arise. J.C. Rowe, political analyst extraordinaire. Cecil Johnson, CEO and founder of the African Development Plan. Pamela McKinney, appointed by Numi Kingdom. Our beloved Queen Esther Hadassah Zaka Theodore, that represents United States and Haiti. Antar Rashid Keith, also a candidate for the 6th region. One of our favorites, Lavelle Walton, Yehuda Investment, African Bridge Alliance, are some of the few candidates, excellent candidates, that are running for the African Union 6th region. To register and vote and participate in this historic opportunity, please visit voters.africandiasporaassembly.com. That's voters.africandiasporaassembly.com. Additionally, if you know anyone that would be a great candidate or like to nominate them, submit their applications to au6regionelections@gmail.com. That's au6regionelections@gmail.com. So why now? Why not? The African's themes of reparatory justice for 2025 underscores the urgency of this moment. Reparations are not just about financial restitution, it's about restoring dignity, addressing inequities, and forging a path towards empowerment. Spread the word, engage your networks. Our youth are calling. And this is really where we want to put forth the mission of giving 1% of our resources, time, and income into building state-of-the-art studios to advance the mentality and the future of AI for our youth. A $500 billion investment is coming to the United States, and our Black youth, our persons of African descent, needs to be in the forefront of this advantage. I want to say congratulations to the candidates, as well as many more that are going to apply. With you, we bring strength, unity, Ubuntu, and Umoja. And for this, we grant you power to the people. Yes, sir. Power to the people. So we're going to go into our musical break in a minute. But again, you're listening to Black Power Radio. Oh, you're actually watching Black Power Radio. We've been on Blog Talk for so long that now you can actually see us. And so you're going to join us next week on our new platform. And we have our special guest again. We will be returning with Lavelle Walton, entrepreneur extraordinaire and AU 6th region candidate with us. So let's go to our musical break. Messiah Ramkinson, to honor our fathers and our Black men in the community. We'll be right back, and thank you for tuning in.
No need for fame, Black fathers are legendary. Watching he got game, coming from the hood, often misunderstood, but still, Black fathers are necessary. Fighting the penitentiary as well as the cemetery. Only right I wrote a song made for my brothers. And whether or not you get along with your baby mothers, our babies love us, our babies need us. He just might be that Black father, the baby Jesus. More precious than a stone from Sierra Leone. That's a child of a Black father, the heir to the throne. Before mine and the diamond in the dirt don't come out shining, they come out muddy. Babies born bloody before the huggies and onesies. Birth from the Black essence, so it's unnatural for a Black father to lack presence. There to provide lessons when babies ask questions. To guide them through imperfections, doubts and transgressions. To teach a foreign language about their ancestors. To read body language, face and hand gestures. To love their body image, hear strand textures. Learning instruments, jam sessions and band lessons. Car seat buckle ups, teaching them boxing uppercuts. More to manhood than muscle ups and busting nuts. More to childhood than Donald Duck and double Dutch. Nothing can replace a father's love and mother's touch. No need for fame, black fathers are legendary. Watching he got game, coming from the hood, often misunderstood, but still, black fathers are necessary. Fighting the penitentiary as well as the cemetery. Only right I wrote a song made for my brothers. And whether or not you get along with your baby mothers, our babies love us, our babies need us. He just might be that black father, the baby Jesus. To mothers who stand in the way of fathers and their children, then go say he left them abandoned like a building that's tore up from the floor to the ceiling. Paint peeling, I ain't feeling women who find joy stealing the joy of a father, not letting his boy see him, or the joy of his daughter, whose dad is a loyal supporter based on a court order. Filthy, you need Florida water and a bush bath. You despise his eyes, despise his mustache. Shout out to the fathers walking the good walk, good path. Every child need a father for a good talk, good laugh. Why make a good dad look bad for a child support check if he absent with welfare at your doorstep? Had him locked, ain't feel remorse yet. Poor sweat, nightmares like a war vet. A karma catching you slipping, floors wet. Though your mom's babysit, sadly a nanny can't replace a daddy's place in the family. No need for fame, black fathers are legendary. Watching he got game, coming from the hood, often misunderstood, but still, black fathers are necessary. Fighting the penitentiary as well as the cemetery. Only right I wrote a song made for my brothers. And whether or not you get along with your baby mothers, our babies love us, our babies need us. He just might be that black father, the baby Jesus. Black fathers are legendary, let's call names. LeBron James, not cause he called plays or win ball games, or can take it to the hole or shoot long range, because he take care of home beyond just suits and Balmains. Robert Nesta Marley, you can never discredit. Died young but left a legacy his children inherit. With them in spirit, El Hajj Malik, MLK. Create fear how a black father could be here now, dead next day. Bow heads, let's pray for the fathers turned martyrs. George Washington, Carvers and Marcus. Black soil covers the carcass. Black fathers never die, they multiply like the square root to pi. Same rules apply if you shoe shine or wear suit and tie. The line of work don't define the worth of you and I. Never saw my pops work for another man. A mentality I don't expect this world to understand. No need for fame, black fathers are legendary. Watching he got game, coming from the hood, often misunderstood, but still, black fathers are necessary. Fighting the penitentiary as well as the cemetery. Only right I wrote a song made for my brothers. And whether or not you get along with your baby mothers, our babies love us, our babies need us. He just might be that black father, the baby Jesus.
Right on, right on. We pay homage to our black fathers and our black mothers and our black children. So again, thank you, family. Welcome to another episode of Black Power Radio. I am your co-host, your friendly neighborhood policy analyst, Dr. Truth Bay, and I have my other co-host, my sister from another mister, Queen Janae Nzinga in DC, holding it down. And then we got our national chairman, Sheikh Imam Akbar, our youth mentor in Philly. Want to give a shout out to my peoples on the stage, and we also got New World as well, and we got our youth mentor from Kentucky chiming on in. Is that Sensei Noah?
It is. Free the land, free the land.
Black Power, babe, Black Power. We're gonna get an update with you later on. So holding it down right there in Kentucky. So we welcome back to the show. LD Walton, one of our very special honored guests. And he's not just a regular candidate. This brother is doing the thing out here in these streets. We have a huge election coming up. January 31st is the deadline, family. And then we had put it on the screen if you are interested in becoming a voting member of this historic movement called the African Union 6 region elections, where we're looking for 8 representatives from the U.S. specifically. It says 20 in all, but if you're not a doctor yet, LD Walton, I'm just manifesting it for you. So we have Mr. Walton, and I actually are one of the candidates for this historic event. And the roles of a 6 region election member is that they are going to be the bridge between representing persons of African descent with the motherland. And so again, family, this started in 2001 We never really had a leadership or governance for the African Union 6th region. And this is the year where actually you can be part of history by participating in this method as well. So without further ado, let's welcome back to Black Power Radio, our brother, L.D. Walton. Welcome again. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Glad to be back in the mix. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. All right. So, can you tell us where was that point in time in your life? Because we know that you are working on some several property investments in South Africa. Before that happened, what was the point in time in your life, or what inspired you to get into this important work for the people?
You know, prior to working at the school, well, this particular school, I was just teaching or assistant teaching, basically. I was a paraprofessional, is what they would call it. I was assisting in special education, working with young people there. But I had an opportunity that came across my desk. It was something that I didn't see coming. It was an opportunity to either do one of two things. Either one, to continue in my role with special education, but in a different classroom environment, which would have been an easy job, something I've already done for years. But then the second was to lead or teach a class full of all Black boys, and that was in 2018. And I thought that was a harder route because I didn't have any expertise or any background in teaching as far as being the lead teacher. And it was with a curriculum I was unfamiliar with. So at that point, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and take the challenge. It was an opportunity for me to be a blessing and to be encouragement and be an example for the young Black boys that I've seen at the school on a daily basis already. But in this case, I'd be way more involved in their lives. So I took that challenge, and that very same year, it dawned on me that everything I've been reading, everything I've been looking into for many years surrounding the scriptures. I'm a person who really truly believes in the scriptures, the Bible, and everything I was reading, like, wait a minute, this is Black. Every single person they were talking about, they Black. From the Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Black. And I'm reading this thing. Yeah, I'm reading it with new lenses back then. I'm like, wait a minute, I need to dig in a little bit deeper. So I started digging in a little bit more, having great conversations with other folks, lost a lot of friends, lost a lot of people who were in my corner because it was considered taboo. And long story short, probably 2020 or 2019, it really hit me like, yo, we need to go to Africa. We need to dig in and find out a little bit more. What happened? How did we get separated? What took place? And that stuck with me. And finally, 2021, I went to Ghana for the first time. 2022, I relocated out to South Africa, and I just started building bridges, making things happen.
Okay, so it was South Africa out of all of the countries in the motherland. Why South Africa? What drew you to that particular country?
It's set up in a way that is very easy for those of us born and raised in the city to transition to. Very easy. So, the idea of the continent is that it's a third world, multiple third world countries. South Africa is more considered a second world, almost a first world country because of its infrastructure and GDP, and its setup is excellent. It's great. It's easy to transition to. So that's why I chose to stick with South Africa. And plus, other than just the fact that the people are great, it's for those reasons to be able to do things and then spread throughout the rest of the continent and start affecting some positive change by collaboration.
Right on, right on. Can you tell us a little bit, because you have some great points. We're trying to pull up the actual town hall that happened last week, but it is extensive. But we do have some sound bites that we're going to play. But some of the points that you made, and what makes you one of the strongest candidates is because you have a clear plan of action for the diaspora, and this is what the people need. So can you tell to our little listening audience a little bit about the Bridge Initiative and why that's important to get involved?
Yeah, sure. So the Bridge Initiative, it's something that has been in my spirit for a long time, and basically it's I guess the best way to say it is the facilitation of partnerships between business people, Black business people, as well as just sacred sites custodians. For example, I have a partnership now with the organization for touring in South Africa for sacred sites, some of the sacred historical sites, one of which is called Inzalo Yolanda, right? And in English terms, it's called Adam's Calendar. And it's one of the oldest stone calendars in the world. And to know that our ancestors put that together, they put those rocks together, that's huge. And I think with the Bridge Initiative, it's really creating those kind of partnerships and those alliances to make it easier for people not only to return, but to reconnect. And that's crucial for those of us in the diaspora to be able to return, reconnect, reestablish, rebuild, redo, restore, every reword that you can think about over, as well as our counterparts on the continent. And the only way that happens is by having a strong, reliable bridge to make it happen. So that's why I established it a few years ago.
Right on. If you could tell us, for anyone that wants to contact you or follow you, is there a website or contact information for those who wants to reach out and join the movement?
Yeah, sure. So I'll give you my email address. I'll give you the Gmail for the company. It's Yehuda. I had to pull it up on my phone so I could make sure I remember it correctly. Yehuda.info@gmail.com. Yehuda is spelled YAHU, D as in David, AH.info@gmail.com. And if you would like to learn a little bit more about what the company is and what we got going, go to www.yehudainvestments.com. Yehuda, YAHUDAH, investments.com.
Right on. So we're going to put that in the chat. And for those who want to support this broadcast on Black Power Radio, it is $77 Bakers. That's $77 Bakers. And so we are here today on Black Power Radio with one of our special guests, Brother Lavelle Walton, who is one of the candidates for the African Union 6th region. And he's spilling some tea right now on the blueprint on how you need to get involved and change your perspective. So we're going to go into our second half with you explaining the initiatives for our youth. So again, we want to say we are grateful to have you here on Black Power Radio. And now we're going to relinquish the mic for an update with our youth leader, Brother Sensei Noah Heron from Kentucky, and some of the HBCUs drama that's happening. As we know about the historical Black colleges are not as historical as we like it to be. So let's get an update from our young brother leader there, Mr. Sensei Noah. Welcome to Black Power Radio, brother. How's it going?
Everything's going all right up here. Just going through some of the little things that you were just speaking about.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's a lot to even start from. Just the HBCUs up here are facing a lot of challenges, right? Almost we're about to almost lose our accreditation. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. They're hiring people from outside entities like UK or U of L or whatever that are state funded, and like it's just putting HBCUs here in a sticky predicament, right? And they're bringing in people from the outside, and it's really changing a lot of the infrastructure, and the things that were going on, right? I mean, they can't even relate to us. So, but
now when you say they're bringing people from the outside, explain a little bit about what's happening there.
So they're hiring in a lot of the teachers and professors or whatever that are coming in to the HBCUs right now in December College and Kentucky State University are white. They're like when I was going to college a few years back, all of my professors were Black, right? They could relate to us. They knew where we were going. I could actually go in there and talk to them, right? It's not a lot of times that you can go do that, but these people were so, I was so comfortable with my professors at that time that I could actually go talk to them. But now as, the students, they come to me and complain, right? Because I have organizations on campus about things that are going on. They're not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to do that. They don't have concerts. They're, they don't have access to certain things. So now it's just all like, how do we combat that? Do we just let it slide, right? Because a lot of the HBCUs are facing the same situation all across the country. And even the funding that is coming in, it's just that we can't spend it, right? Because there are certain things in order. It's, man, executive order, what is it, 112, I believe. It won't let, like, everything has to be funneled in. Anything over $5,000 has to be accounted for, or it has to go through some committee and get approved. So they're receiving a lot of money, but they can't spend it. It's a crazy situation.
I'm sorry, I was muted. I'm shocked. How does that even make sense? You mean to tell me that this historical black college is receiving funding, but you're not able to spend it?
Exactly. They have it's House Bill. Matter of fact, it's called House Bill 250, I believe. You can look it up. It goes for Kentucky State University. It'll tell you, anything spent over $5,000 has to go through a committee and be approved, right? And a lot of these people can't approve anything, and it's just because it's a land grant school. Kentucky State University, Summit College, they receive money from the state schools here, which is UK and U of L. They're kind of like, it's not that they're in charge, but we get a lot of money from them, right? Even from the outside programs and grants and stuff that get written in, right? That will come in, but this is being approved from people that are outside that have just been, basically put in position because it's the educational system here for the HBCUs is failing. So they don't even know what to do with it, right? I mean, there's so much infrastructure that has to be repaired, dorms and all this. I mean, it's to the point where people are sleeping in Capitol Plaza Hotel in the Capitol, right? From the HBCUs. So, like, that's the stuff that's going on, right? They can't throw concerts. No concerts for 4 years. When I was in college, I got a chance to meet the number one ranking artist almost every single year. They would come on campus, chill with us, people from BET, stay in school. This is, it looks like this. We're a product of, HBCU education, right? Free, and all these people that were doing 106 in Park, we were able to meet those people, right? But the kids now, they don't have anybody on campus to even, come encourage them to stay in school or, complete everything. So it's just a big disparity.
Well, this is a shame, shame, shame. We're actually going to pull up HR House Bill 250 and see a little bit more about that. Yes, we're gonna break this down because this is ridiculous. Nonetheless, this is nothing surprising, as we see with historical black colleges. The majority of the professors are people outside of the African diaspora, which is why we got to take it all back and make it all black. Our own learning institutions, as people want to knock Dr. Umar for the Marcus Garvey school, nonetheless, this is a brother that's making an effort to really have an all black education for our people. We all need to work together to make that happen. So for those who may not know you, Brother Sensei, can you tell us a little bit about who you are in the entertainment field and exactly what's holding it down in Kentucky?
Well, before that, I'm a proud father of two. I have two little girls, 14 and 7, and they're amazing. I,
Destiny, yes.
yes, Destiny. But I have two little girls. I'm a proud father. I got I'm an HBCU graduate, right? I majored in liberal arts. I double minor in nutrition and athletic training, right? I played football. But after I got out of college, I kind of noticed like my love was for music, right? I got into music, and like the thing that they say doesn't happen happened to me, right? I met somebody that worked at a radio station. They introduced me, and it kind of like went up like that. I had that dream story. So now I A&R for Universal Music Group. I signed an artist. I got 3 artists signed. I've done over 5 million streams for people across the, the nation. I marketed for French Montana. I've worked with Billie Eilish. I've I've charted.
Share screen.
Say what?
No, not you. Tech. Share screen.
But
Go ahead, dear.
But yeah, I marketed for 2C. He went 5 times platinum just recently. And recently, the last couple of years, I've been working closely with Truth Bay, behind the scenes and kind of getting to know the politic game. I've been able to pull off some politics myself, get some legislation introduced, and we're currently doing what I think is the cure to all of this, which is civic engagement, right, with the youth out here. So it's not just leading with, by blind sight. We have a plan in involved. I mean, and for everybody that doesn't know, I mean, it's simple, right? If we learn the technology, the world has still yet to flip right into the tech. So if we teach the kids tech, crypto, AI, right, all the little bit of coding that you need, right, by the time everything flips, we'll already be in position to kind of take over and be where we, kind of be where we need to be, right, in the society that's coming. Because with Trump doing what he just did, with the civil rights, taking that out. What was that? Give me 1 second. He took out Executive Order 11246, the workplace discrimination. I mean, we're gonna have to get it by ourselves now. It's gonna have to be self-done, which is why the civic engagement and everything can kind of like jump between us and expedite the process to that. It doesn't necessarily have to be taught in classroom settings, right? It can be taught right here. We can get one at a time, just like it happened to me. I didn't find myself into this. Truth Bay, hey, you need to wake up. She's snapping the fingers. Hey, this is happening, right? And then I woke up and started teaching it, right? I'm taking 24 students down to city commission to listen in on what's going on, right? How the money's being moved, and that's how the civic engagement is going to work. They're going to start learning this is where the money's being moved. We can hold them accountable. We can go in here and figure it out. And then when we go back home, right, because everybody's not from Kentucky, right? A lot of people are from Detroit, a lot of impoverished areas. They go back home and kind of start fighting there. It might not hit until a later date, but it's kind of getting them in and acclimated.
Yes, sir. Civic engagement, and that's one of the major programs that we try to push with our network, is to merge our Black youth with their local jurisdiction. Nothing is more important than actually knowing how your local city hall runs. If you live in the county board of supervisors, any state hearings. We took some of our youth to the state capitol, Sacramento. We just had a reparations press conference on January 7th. And really, we spoke to about 120 legislators. And this is what it's all about, is connecting our local jurisdiction in order for us to see our youth get the resources that's needed. So we are so grateful again to have you here with us, Brother Sensei. And yes, can you give us a takeaway concerning moving with the elections that's coming up? January 31st, we do have the deadline for the African Union 6th region elections. So we want to make sure all our young people, all of our Black youth are signed up. So if you are not signed up yet, please go to voters.africanassembly.com. That is africandiasporaassembly.com. Sign up today. Elections are actually this Friday, the 31st. And thank you again, Sensei, for being here. And we have one of our greatest candidates that is here with us today on Black Power Radio. We do have Brother Lavelle Walton. And a lot of the things that Brother Sensei was talking about with youth investment is exactly part of the plan for the 6th region candidacy. So we have a soundbite. Let's play that soundbite from Lavelle, and then we head right back to our special guest. You're listening to Black Power Radio.
accountable. See if they for real. So when I look at these artists and I listen to them, I got a lot of respect for the talent and the abilities of a lot of artists. But I because I'm an artist myself. I pay attention to what you're saying. Pay attention to how you vibe, not just the music. I love the music. I love the beats. I love the vibe. I even love the new styles and so forth. Even though a lot of these artists sound the exact same.
Yeah.
But I'm a supporter of creativity. I love it. I even like how, even though I'm not a big supporter of everything, the content, everything everyone says, how they say certain things, the metaphors, the similes, and all that. I'm a supporter of that, the wordplay. But it's like what you're saying doesn't feed us well.
Yeah.
But how you say certain things, that was fresh. That was creative. That was really good. So I look at it and then I look at, okay, when you're done and you're off the stage and you're out of the recording booth, what's happening? Where you at now in the world? Is it just about the shows? Is it just about the magazine, the photo shoot? Is it just about the next show, the interviews? What is life like? What about the rest of us?
Right on. What is life like? That is such truth to power. So as an artist, has the best of both worlds. Not only building an
accountable. See if they for real.
He got excited. It's so nice. You got to play it twice. So not only are you an entrepreneur, but you get the mindset of the youth and through music. So tell us a little bit about your youth initiative.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I have to make sure that. Oh, there it is. All right, made sure it was unmuted. So the youth initiative, we call it Different, D4NT. It's a company I started back, I think it was March 2021. Called it D4NT, basically just another way of saying different. All right. So the Different Youth Initiative, basically speaking to the innate greatness in each and every one of us, and that we're already different. We don't need to do 1,000 body piercings and 1,000 tattoos and color your hair purple, pink, and orange and all this stuff. Wear this kind of clothes, that you're already different. There's nobody in the world with the exact same fingerprints as you. There's nobody in the world who looks the exact same as you. Yes, there will be some who look similar, but there's always going to be some slight difference. You are already unique. And what we wanted to do, what I wanted to do back in 2021 was to start up with after school programs and really teaching young people their cultural identity, substance abuse prevention and intervention skills, as well as honing in on your message and honing in on your craft. And I did that, I think about for a full school year, I think it was about 2 or 3, almost 3 semesters, 3 full semesters with the schools, with youth groups. So what we're doing now is trying to take that same program and that same model, but expanding it overseas and in America, and being able to take that into the different neighborhoods, the different cities in the U.S. as well as on the continent. And our focus has been just serving the educational advancement of our young people, ages 5 to 18, in both the rural, the countries, the hood, the communities, basically, and giving them culturally relevant education and skills development, skills transfer. Essentially, it's, I guess you could say it's the marriage between education and economic empowerment, just bringing it all together for our own.
Right on. So if you were to coach, mentor our youth today, what would be the first steps? If they say, hey, I want to start my own business, or I want to, start getting in the right path of self-determination, what would the first things you would tell a Black youth?
First things first, I'd say let's start with identifying our cultural identity. Let's go back into the history of who we are first and foremost, and the value that we have, because it's no sense in you starting a business and now you made all this money, but now you're a destructive member of the community. So let's start with you and the value of you. Then the second thing is, let's identify what's in you, what kind of skills, talents, and abilities that's in you. And then let's identify what it is that you like to do or want to do one day. and let's see how we can start bridging those gaps, how we can start putting that stuff together. Then after that, I would want to connect them with some sort of mentors who are Black men or Black women who are already successful in those particular fields, creating mentors and those kind of relationships, basically. Afterwards, try to find a way to get them some sort of internship or externship at a company, or even working with that same mentor, so that they can not only just get the head knowledge and not only just listen to what their mentor is saying or inside the classroom, but can actually apply it. I remember when I was working with some young people, I think that was my 8th grade students at the time, so 13, 14-year-olds. I remember some of them wanted to be entrepreneurs, and a few of them liked to shoes, and others was mowing grass. And I taught them, like, look, okay, so you guys realize who you are and your value. Let's also see what you can do with what you already do. So some of you like shoes, and some of you like to paint. Why don't you ask some of the students in the school around you, let you hold on to their Air Force Ones and let you paint them. They already see yours. Start with yours, of course, and then you start showcasing those. Then start painting those shoes, and then you create a business out of that. You let them know, look, I can go ahead and decorate all your shoes and make sure they're unique to the things that you like, make some money off of that, and then expand your business by having other young people to come in and work for you. So I kind of gave them a bit of the game, I guess you could say, just to kind of show them how you can make it happen. And it was successful. A few young people had done it already, and I still stay in touch with some of those students. They're often fresh high school seniors in high school, and some of the other ones are in college right now. And they did what I said, and now they're doing well. So I love it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And that's why we are pushing the fact that doesn't matter what it is that we're working on, we got to start building these artist studios, these warehouses where you just stuff all the state-of-the-art equipment. Right now, there is, again, a $500 billion deal right now with Stargate that's investing in the U.S. in just AI. And so when I tell you that we'll make sure our Black youth is in the forefront of having these spaces in our neighborhoods funded the way that it should be, there will be a lot of less depression, suicide, violence, just mental health in itself would decrease significantly in a way where we'll see success. I want to see our young people create these 3D animation films, these shorts, to really be on the cutting edge of utilizing the internet and what is it, AI, basically, to see how we can push the boundaries on that. Because a lot of our young people, they want to do podcasting. A lot of them still want to be lawyers and doctors, but the majority want to be influencers of some kind. So we have to match that with it. So on day one, after the elections are over, what do you hope to see, not only with the candidates, but with the 6th region in general?
If I could go back into something you just said first, I think it's with money like that that's coming in, doing it the conventional route is not going to get it done. Trying to go through the schools and so forth, we need our own programs and organizations and leadership that we can trust to disseminate the funds into programs that benefit our young people, benefit our own communities. And I know that's kind of tough to say or tough to see, but it has to happen. There has to be some of us who are reliable to say, look, we're here to get results. We're here to work, get our fingers dirty. We're not here to play with people's money and have it going all over the place. We actually want things to work out. So we're going to take this monies and disseminate it into these different programs and make it work in the community. So what I would like to see the first day after the elections is a scheduled meeting between the representatives and the candidate and the deputies. Scheduled meeting, and let's start talking about the initiatives, and start talking about policies, start talking about a plan of action. Something I remember sharing with you, Dr. Truth Bay. You and I had a conversation a while ago, and I spoke to you about it. I said 2 things that are most important. And this is what really needs to happen if we're ever going to see real success. You need funding and you need social influence. Those are 2 things you cannot shake. You cannot get away from that in this day and age. You cannot just have a whole bunch of candidates who got head knowledge and who are smart, when it comes to politics or all the politricks, right? All of it, right? That's great to
Right
know
on.
that. It's good to know those things, and that's great. It's
Yeah.
great to have people on the same team who understand that language. But no matter what, we need results. And in order to have the results, we're going to need influence, social influence. And then if you're going to have social influence, you also need revenue to show the value. And that's when you begin to see such a strong bridge being built between those of us in the diaspora in America, being able to build bridges with those in South America or the Caribbeans, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the continent taking serious recognition to all of this. So, and these things can actually happen in a very short period of time. It doesn't take forever. So I'd like to see the candidates or the representatives, once elected, sit down and let's meet and let's get to work. Let's really plan, be strategic, and actually get working.
Yes, absolutely. Get our hands dirty. That's so beautiful. And again, I'm so grateful to go through this process and get to know people like yourself that really are putting 10 toes down, boots to the ground, make things happen. Uh, right now, we do need to have people to know about the process. So, again, if you're not familiar with the African Union 6th Region elections, go to voters.africandiasporaassembly.com to get more information on this very important process. And if you know someone that is candidate worthy, someone that would make a great representative, have them register as well as a candidate. It's never too late. Even though the elections are coming up this Friday, we can always open the door for those who are just coming in. But you've got to be about it. You can't just be about dialogue. You got to really show and prove. This is a year of return, so to speak, for our people. Is that right? That's right. So with that being said, I'm going to relinquish the mic. Again, we want to say thank you so much, Brother Walton. Hope you stick around with us. We still got some updates to share with the Black community. And for those who want to follow your work, please log on to YahudaInvestments.com, YahudaInvestments.com. We're trying to see if we can screen share and show the website, but we'll have it on bottom screen. Log on, get to know Mr. Walton, but more importantly, let's follow up with this website. Okay, our tech person is no, we're not playing the video yet. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jay. All right, so those who are here, we do want to chime in for any questions or comments for our dear brother, and a little update of the Sankofa International as well. National Chairman Shaky Mom, you're in his house. I don't know if you guys want to open up your mic and have some questions for Mr. Walton. All right, while we are waiting, let's play our musical beats.
Black Power, appreciate you, Mr. Walter. Appreciate your insight and your intellectual music as well. Militant music. Thank you, Black Power.
Thank you. Many blessings. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I had a question.
Yes.
Yeah, what exactly do you do in the industry? Like the music industry specifically.
Yeah, I was a hip hop in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I had done was I was a hip hop artist. I had been writing songs since the age of 12, performing since the age of 15 in adult clubs all my high school years, really. So I was a hip hop artist. I became a local gospel urban TV show host. I was a model and I was an actor. I acted in a few commercials. And then I was also in a show, just a quick snippet in a show in Amazon years ago. I'm trying to remember, Man in the High Castle. But that's been my background in entertainment. I still write songs. I still got bars, man. Still got bars.
Indeed. And we did play a little snippet earlier in the show. Oh, right on point. I'm going to see if we can get another clip. But this is definitely a great experience to have not only someone who understands the entertainment industry, but to want to build businesses. And Kenny, actually, speaking of that, what inspired you from, was it Tulsa, Oklahoma, with Black Wall Street? What inspired you to really go that route? And tell us a little bit about your vision in creating the new Black Wall Street for our people.
Yeah, absolutely. I was inspired by Black Wall Street big time in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I did some research on O.W. Gurley in 1905, I believe it was, the Oklahoma land run, when he went and purchased about 40 acres, which comes out to about 13 hectares of land, so about 40 acres in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I started asking myself questions, looking at the time frame between 1905 and 1921, about 15 to 16 years when it was destroyed. Uh, I realized 600 businesses and all these different things that were done, but 10,000 people patroned that area. And the dollar has circulated about 36 to 100 times before it ever left out the community. So I was intrigued by it. And I believe that, look, if we're going to be able to have greater success, we're going to have, I don't need the 10,000 people to partner with to make it happen. I need the 600. I have to find that 600 who have the same vision and to begin start doing the work and circulate. And what's going to end up happening is more people are going to want to jump on board.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
brother.
so the other thing I want to say for my brother Sensei, because I know he was really he was sharing his background in the entertainment industry, something that's huge. And Truth Bay, Dr. Truth Bay, you mentioned it with the podcast. You can actually create multiple podcast shows, even on the continent. They are intrigued. They love Black American entertainment. And some of it to, the detriment, right? But I think we also have an opportunity to change the narrative. But a lot of them are highly intrigued and interested, and it's a huge opportunity for the people with the right mindset and the right heart to go ahead and start bringing about some serious change out there.
You mind if I chime in?
Right on. Absolutely. Come on in.
I feel like gosh, sometimes I don't like the fact that I work for Universal, but in other aspects I see where things are going, and it's all like we're trying to change the narrative, right? And it's all like, what do we want to see happen, and how could it be better, or how can we move things? And it's all like things are already headed to a direct to consumer, a D2C type model, right? To where artists are selling direct to consumer, right? So not everybody's going to be getting these channels, right? One of our good brothers, his name is Ray Daniels. He's in the industry. He talks about where he sees, I guess, the entire industry as the Black industry going, right? Everything is kind of like, how can you put that? Just raw and unedited now. It just is. It just is. And where we see things going is almost like an OnlyFans model, a paid subscription model, right? Because things are too ratchet and stuff right now, right? So
Yes.
we're in trouble as an industry, right? As being American, as pushing the agenda of hip hop. But I believe like the narrative is already kind of moving, right? It's going more private. He was talking about how he took his daughter to a Sexy Red concert, but like because she wanted to see Sexy Red, but he didn't even want her to see it because it was so ratchet on stage. Right? You got
Still
like
is.
they just, her and Bruno Mars just dropped a banger, and it's the most ratchet, nasty song I've ever heard in my life. But I know it's going to top the charts, and everybody's going to be talking about it. I know it.
How will we change that?
I know it. But just to kind of touch on that though, I believe, and Ray Daniels believes, it's going more to like a private sector, D2C, right? That way everybody can't consume it on the level that they want to. It's going to be paid subscription. So that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah,
May I
to me,
chime
it
in?
really it spells opportunity to me. for those who have like I said, the right mind. Create the narrative, create what the lane that you want. In other words, taking that power back. So
That's right.
that's great observation, brother.
Yes,
I
can I
guess
say?
that's
Absolutely.
that's the perfect time for
Yeah, we
New
got
World to chime
Brother
in.
New World, and we
See the
got
same
Sister Queen
Oh man, all this
that's
stuff
on the
is
line as well.
intercorrelated, man. Everything
I'll be.
is matched back to the
I
same
can't.
Uh,
stuff.
m- okay, so anyway,
What's so different?
Is somebody talking or
in,
I
Were you
can't
trying to show me a
understand?
it's
piece?
New World speaking. I was trying to get on, but I'm going to be respectful. I
What's
won't
that?
step on anybody.
Yeah, Brother New World, shake your
Yes,
arm if
okay,
you can
good.
mute your mic, National Chairman, so we can hear our other guests. All right, thank you. Go ahead, New World.
All right.
Brother New
So
World, we
as I was
got you in
about
the
to
mute.
say, it's
Yes, sir.
truly refreshing to run across somebody with a spirit and a mind like yours, Brother Walton. This is so necessary and way overdue. Uh, Give him my number so we can touch bases. I've got quite a bit to contribute to what you're talking about because I was waiting for everybody to catch on. It's been on YouTube for 7, 8 years now. They finally took the interviews I did off because what you're doing is exactly what I said. So thank you. I don't know what part of heaven you snuck here from, but I'm glad to let you come play with us. So I would suggest that we keep on doing what we're doing. The reason the music has gone so crazy is because it's a part of global white supremacy's plan to have us self-destruct. Remember the rap song, Headed for Self-Destruction? Okay, we're moving at
Mm-hmm.
full speed. How do we take this back? You simply follow the rule or the education or the teachings or the guidance of the ancestors. They always led us in the right direction. This is a spiritual war. So what we have to understand to take it all back, make it all black, you have to stay in divine alignment. So I'd like to offer you a SAC, SAC. Submit to God, admit the truth, commit to righteousness. Simple formula. Don't worry about the ratchet fools. They're fighting for the dollar. Those are, I guess you could call them cyber whores. But that's what's going to happen. They've created so much depravity that our people are at a point of almost desperation, mentally, spiritually, and sometimes physically. So if they create the poverty, we'll sell our souls cheap. But what I'm suggesting and hearing from what you produce, your music, tells exactly what I'm talking about. It's about your character. That's what Martin King was talking about. It's your character. This is what we're going to do. Take our humanity back. To hell with what the industry does. We have a divine responsibility. Declare 2025 a victory for the ancestors. They paid a hell of a price for us, brother. A hell of a price for far too darn long. The least we can do is say thank you about what we produce out of the gifts that God has given us. Don't let nobody taint your gift. You don't just have a light, you are the light. And I dare you to shine in the sake of, for the sake of righteousness and watch the ancestors and the creator slap high fives in the heaven, brother. Keep on doing what you're doing. Give me a call, please. I'd like to have a conversation with you. Stay strong,
What's your
black family,
number?
as if
Come
we
on, New
have another
World.
choice. Oh, I'm
Give us your
347.
number.
I'm
Yes,
three,
sir.
4, 7, 2, 1, 9, 3, 2, 4. And you can also send me whatever support you'd like to Zelle because
Nine.
I need right, 347 621 9324.
All right,
And
Brother
that
New
also
World.
works for Zell. Give me a call. We need to do
Yes, sir.
some serious work. These babies have gifts all over the place. I'd like to say this before I go. The black community is an untapped gold mine. What's wrong with us tapping our own damn mind for a change? It's about time we take it all back, make it all black. We're gonna make it when we take it all back, family. All back, make it all black. We can make it if we take it all back. Just like that.
Just like that.
Love
Yes,
y'all,
sir.
family. Keep that work.
Thank
Holler
you,
at
New
me.
World. All
I
right,
said
chiming
holler
in.
black,
This
and that's
our
not a Freudian
OG.
slip.
That's our OG. OG. Don't go nowhere, New World. You better stick around. All right, Brother Walter. We appreciate you so very much.
I'm here.
Spirits.
I'm just making room for the youth.
Yeah, I just wanted to say right quick. I just want to leave my information. I'm a little bit under the weather, so my voice ain't really too long winded this evening. I caught the tail in a little bit of what you were saying, Brother Watson. I'm just more interested in the investment side of everything. I just want to leave my number to contact you about real estate development in that arena. Also, just to get a little bit more what you were saying you did in the investment realm. Um, and see how we can connect. Again, I'm gonna leave my number in the chat. I am not feeling the best right now, but I still.
All right, Queen, before you split, baby, you still here. You alive and breathing. Tell us a little bit about what your future goals is. And I know you do a whole lot. She got a resume that's 2 miles long. Just give us a little bit, Queen, of the work that you do in the community.
I'm just really, I guess to sum it up, I would say I'm a servant and a teacher. Like, I just love to be able to go out and educate my people. I teach wealth and finance, investments. I set up IULs accounts. I do legal services. But I do hands-on in the community. I have a resource center, where we, feed the people, give out clothes, and now we're about to start building out classes for people to come in to get their licenses and certifications for certain things. And mainly what I've been working on now is in the energy field with solar energy and solar farms. We've been partnering with Ghana and Kenya, to help stabilize their, electrical situation, because they get rolling blackouts. So we are
Oh, yeah.
starting to and also lithium mining over there. So just really growing so we can just expand and just
That sign up there. See what it
it
says?
just do great things.
Black.
Just really I don't know what
On
that
any
is.
plane. We don't own no ships.
Man, thank you so much, Sissy Pooh.
Oh
And
no,
that's
you good.
Queen
Yes, I don't
Kayla.
know. Yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
gonna leave my stuff in the chat. But yeah, definitely would love to partner. I gotta take a trip down to Mississippi this Saturday, so I'll be traveling. But I just really want to connect and see how we can build. So yeah.
Make sure you sign up, you share the voters registration so we can have our candidates up and running with the support of the community. So again, family, this Friday, January 31st, is the actual elections preview for the 6th region. So if you want to get involved, sign up on voters.africandiasporaassembly.com. That is voters.africandiasporaassembly.com. And where one of our candidates here tonight, Mr. Walton, LD Walton,
Two
extraordinaire
of our
candidate.
candidates, Dr. Truth Bay. Yeah, I'm voting for you.
Well, yes. Thank you so much. Yes, I'm actually running as well as a deputy, but I'm more behind the scenes. So what I'd like to do when all is said and done is come behind and regulate. So to set up the court system, the justice system for our people, which is vitally important for us to have legislation, executive orders, just really have a justice system all 100% for our people. So I look forward to that, but I want to support candidates like you in the forefront to really help with economic power. And so there's a clip, one of the movies back in the day with Lawrence Fishburne that I was watching, and I said, you know what, this is so relevant for today. So I just want us to play that, and then we're going to go to our sister Queen, Janae and Zinga, to wrap up with a couple of Sankofa International updates as well. You're tuning in to Black.
That sign up there. See what it says? Cash for your home. You know what that is?
Billboard.
What are y'all, Amos and Andy? Are you stepping and he's fetching? I'm talking about the message, what it stands for. It's called gentrification. It's what happens when the property value of a certain area is brought down. Huh? You listening?
Yeah.
They bring the property value down. They can buy the land at a lower price. Then they move all the people out, raise the property value, and sell it at a profit. Now what we need to do is we need to keep everything in our neighborhood, everything, black. Black owned with black money. Just like the Jews, the Italians, the Mexicans, and the Koreans do.
Ain't nobody from outside bringing down the property value. It's these folk shooting each other and selling that crack rock and shit.
Well, how you think the crack rock gets into the country? We don't own any planes. We don't own no ships. But we are not the people who are flying and floating that shit in here. I know every time you turn on the TV, that's what you see. Black people selling the rock, pushing the rock, pushing the rock. Yeah, I know. But that wasn't a problem as long as it was here. Wasn't a problem until it was in Iowa and it showed up on Wall Street where there are hardly any black people. Now, if you want to talk about guns, Why is it that there's a gun shop on almost every corner in this community?
Why?
Tell you why. For the same reason that there's a liquor store on almost every corner in the black community. Why? They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves.
Yeah.
Who is it that's dying out here on these streets every night? Y'all.
Yeah.
Young brothers like yourselves.
What am I supposed to do? Fool roll up, try to smoke me? I'm gonna shoot the motherfucker if he don't kill me first.
You're doing exactly what they want you to do. You have to think, young brother, about your future. Huh?
And there you have it. That is the classic scene from Boys in the Hood. Family, let me tell you how important that scene was. I was actually flying to Haiti at one point. This was back in 2019. And for some reason, there was a lot of Asians on that flight. I don't know why or what was going on, but I sat next to this Asian guy, and all of the movies, it was about probably a 6-hour flight. All of the movies that this gentleman was watching, one of them was actually Boys in the Hood, but this scene stuck out more so than ever. Another one was New Jack City, and I believe the other one was Juice. But nonetheless, I realized that this Asian gentleman is watching these films because he wants to know exactly how to complete the takeover. Because a lot of the things that Lawrence was talking to Cuba at that moment is what the oppressor is doing to us right now. A lot of the visuals that you see with the violence and the liquor stores and all that, we don't own half of the liquor stores that's in our neighborhoods, the dispensaries. We don't place the guns in our neighborhoods. We didn't put the drugs in there, but we are the face of the carriers of these issues. And so if our young people can return back to this, knowing who they are, and then we actually build the opposite. You present that clean glass next to the dirty glass. That way we'll be able to see the difference, because that dirty glass will not be picked up if the clean glass is always there at their disposal for them to drink. So as New World was saying, we got to take it all back, make it all black. It's not something that we take lightly. The process of taking it is things like being part of the African Union elections, being part of a process of self-determination. Our 10-point platform is what we take seriously, but we can't have it if it's not executed. And so things like the Sankofa International Conference coming up in April, where we want to gather up majority of our elders, our sponsors, that are going to give back that 1%. We're going to identify our players, absolutely. So our elders in our community, we're asking you, everyone to really give back 1% of your time to process and organize and strategize these maneuvers that needs to be done. And we got a lot of great people doing the work out in these streets. Now we have to have everyone, at least behind the scenes, giving back a little bit to help those who are doing the footwork. So with that being said, I'm going to relinquish the mic to Queen Janae right quick to tell us a little bit about the Sankofa International, and then National Chairman Sheikh Imam for some closing comments.
All right. Well, the Sankofa International Conference is going to be in Washington, D.C. from April the 14th to April 23rd. The actual day of the conference is April 19th. And we have invited some dignitaries from Zimbabwe, Queen Mambakazi, and also Joshua Mpango. And then today I just got confirmation that we got Professor James Smalls that's going to come in and be a part of the Sankofa International Conference. Okay. So we really need you all to come and support the conference, because this is for you. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's about us. It's about bringing to the table across the diaspora everything that we got to bring. We have bridged the gaps. We have programs. We have resources. Now it's time to build and actually connect with the people throughout the diaspora. So that's what the Sankofa International Conference is. And like I said, this is our 5th event. The Eventbrite is, I can't put it up on here, but The Eventbrite is ready. You can register for the 1 day fee is $20. If you're going to be a workshop, then register as a vendor. The vendor fee today, if you do it before February, it's only $50. After February, it's going to be $100 because we're bringing you all the information. We bringing the continent to you, and then in return, we're going to Africa in July. So this is like a fundraiser. This is an awareness. This is something for the people. So bring it all. We taking it all back and making it all black. We got to start somewhere. So excuse me.
That's right. Right on.
Opportunity. Okay. Yeah, I'm not feeling
I
this.
say, hit him again, Mike Tyson.
That's right. We try to share the screen. But nonetheless, we put that in the chat as well. So get your ticket, Sankofa International Conference, and where we will be discussing the plan of action, majority with our elders as well. And again, it's such great people, literally real African kings and queens that are going to be part of this event. Last year was an awesome
Yeah.
event. I
Hit it, hit
definitely
it
would like
for
to be there.
2025. Go to 2025. That's 2024. That was last year's link right
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, family. Here we go. Look at the all stars right here. I tell you, it doesn't take a lot of us. It's only a few dedicated, righteous folks to make sure that we get this ball rolling. So make sure that you
Absolutely.
do get your tickets, family. It's on Eventbrite, Sankofa. Google Sankofa International Conference, and you'll see this event pop right up. That being said, so Brother Walton, today we had a very special guest on Black Power Radio. This is our last on this platform. Nonetheless, we'll be moving to a new network, and we hope to have you there as well. So, Brother Walton, before you go, we'd love to know your closing remarks, your advice to the people, and your advice to the youth.
Absolutely. Thank you first and foremost to every panelist, every host here. Thank you also, Dr. Truth Bay, for the invitation. It is truly a pleasure and a blessing, basically, just to be in the presence of all this beautiful blackness. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But closing comments, closing remarks, I would just encourage any and everybody, be for real about this. Don't just talk about the work. Don't just talk about movement. Actually be about it. You know, do the actual work that's necessary. And if you have enough people working alongside of you, then it's lighter work. And some of your work may just simply be in the agriculture. So, you know, one of my elders told me, look, you don't know farming like I know farming, but just collect the eggs. If that's my thing, if I could just collect the eggs, I'll go and collect the eggs. But that's my part, right? Just do your part for everybody. Just do your part, participate, and be for real about it. Because definitely there are some of us who are serious and go into work. As far as for the young people, man, there's so much ahead of y'all. Y'all are about to be given such a mighty torch, and it's only going to blaze even brighter in your hands. So don't look back, don't fear, stand for something, don't fall for anything. We're going forward. Peace and blessings.
Right on. And if you could
Right
tell
on.
us
Peace and blessings.
who is your greatest ancestor that inspired you out of all of the great activists in the past? Give us your top three, that ones that keep
My
you
top
motivated.
three. Woo. Oh man, you going there with it? Okay, top three. Guaranteed number one would be. I'd say it'd have to be at Malcolm X, and personally because he was fearless and he was serious about it. And when I say fearless, it did not mean that he didn't experience the hints of fear, but he was courageous. I think that would be a lot better word to use, and I admired that. I would also say Marcus Garvey, because he believed in connecting all of us worldwide. And last but not least, I would say Harriet Tubman, aka Araminta Ross. The reason why I would say her is because she had an attitude like either we gonna go be free or we gonna die. You choose. And I'm all about no. Let's go get it. Let's go be free. Forget that. Let's win. I'm all for it. So
That's right. That's
That was
right.
a
And
hard
speaking,
top three. There's so many, but yeah, that's my top three.
wow, but you
Black
correct
power, black
ones
power.
actually get it rolling. We actually wanted to play a little clip because Marcus Garvey, as we said, was actually pardoned last week. And back in Harlem, let me share the screen. Hold on, family. Trying to get this going. And I don't know, it's bittersweet. I think there's a lot more that needs to be done other than just pardoning, full exoneration, as one of them mentioned, and prison behind the wall, political prisoners as well. Mumia Abul Jamal, we have mentioned that he needs to be pardoned. He should have been pardoned as well with all these insurrectionists. But nonetheless, let's share the screen. Here we go.
Controversial for his actions and statements about Black Power. Decades before the concept even entered the culture. Marcus Garvey is legendary in American history, but he had a criminal conviction many have called politically motivated.
Yeah, he's just been pardoned by now former President Biden. In his Pick 7's James Ford reports from Harlem, some say it's not enough to secure Garvey's legacy.
Martin Luther King called Marcus Garvey the first man of color to lead a mass movement. Garvey is commemorated with his name on this park, and now his name is legally cleared, but more is being called for in order to cement Garvey's legacy. Black is beautiful. If you've ever heard that expression, this is the man you can thank for first saying it. Marcus Garvey was a major figure in American history who came to the U.S. from Jamaica after World War I and founded an organization promoting Black pride and Black economic strength. The park bearing his name is in Harlem, where Garvey, an admired public speaker, built his reputation and his economic and political movement. It included a shipping company meant to help Blacks return to the African continent. It wasn't successful, and related to it, federal officials convicted Garvey of mail fraud. Seen as a politically motivated charge, it was pardoned by Joe Biden in one of his last presidential acts.
That's great because it should have been happening. It should have really been happening for him.
She's one of dozens of people enjoying the Harlem Park named after Garvey, even in the cold.
We started talking about like other historical people, like, Marcus Garvey.
She was familiar with the man who, a few blocks from the park, founded his organization, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, at this location in Harlem. It had thousands of members worldwide. Signs of Garvey's influence locally include a boulevard and 3 different housing areas in Brooklyn named after him.
A global leader that spent so much of his time in the city of New York, mobilizing, organizing.
Member of Congress Yvette Clarke's district includes all those places named for Garvey. His recent pardon, she says, clears his name, but his full record isn't clear without one more step: full exoneration.
And I'm looking forward to that day.
Representative Clarke points out it takes an act of Congress to fully exonerate someone, and she has been leading that effort. One thing that may help even more in that regard, she just began her tenure as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus.
Tell me if that is not a knicker. She's the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, y'all. So you're listening? We need to have a pardon.
You heard her say
For
mobilize,
our brother,
organize.
Mumia Abul Jamal. We need to have a pardon for him. So let's start mobilizing this and presenting this to the Congressional Black Caucus immediately. And so that would be power to the people. It is so refreshing. Again, my family. Any closing comments? Where's our national chairman shaking my mic?
Just want to make a comment. Let's establish a good relationship with her and every other politician we can find so we can do this work and expedite it in our favor. Love y'all. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Right on.
Word to the wise. Thank you for that, New World. We definitely got to connect with our politicians, and Yvette Clarke, a major force to be reckoned with in New York. So the New York brothers, New York Panthers, please, I hope you are listening and executing this plan of action as we speak. Beautiful thing, beautiful thing. All right, do we have our last comments before we wrap up on Black Power Radio?
Thank y'all again, once again, for the show, and thank y'all for the great information. Free H. Rap Brown and free Amu Jamal, and
That's
free
right.
all the incarcerated political prisoners, and those who are free, stay free. Salute
And
Black
Brother
Power.
Grandmaster Jay.
Power to the people. All right. So if you guys missed it, we did have our freestyle flow for Brother Walton, who has been our special guest this evening. And so we're going to play it again. He's so nice. We got to play it twice. So thank you again for joining us.
Or dishonor. I hear your honor say, come out of her. Babylon is fallen. Heed the calling. Don't you straddle her. Garvey told us, eyes up. Malcolm told us, wise up. Countless Negroes died from their lives. Will you wise up, young travelers? Believe and return. Be awakened now. Every idol made of wood and stone, you got to take them down. And this is where we pack and make a pact, not relax on our morals. If we die today, long live tomorrow. This is for Philando, Trayvon, Eric Reed, Mike Brown, Ray Shard, George Floyd, Stephen Clark, you count them down. Alton, Freddie Gray, Eric Garner, Tatiana Aura, Tamir Rice, Gabriella Ambriana. Plenty of us died like our black skin's a penalty. Cursed since birth, the only logical extremity. Integration, it offered vulnerability to our enemies, confederate against us. Study Psalm 83. The awakening happened, then coronavirus dropped. Social media changed their policies, many Hebrew channels blocked. Tech giant joined the health industry, said we need a shot. Joe Biden said POTUS looks good, then he commits to shoot his shot. Black people said hooray just to get Trump out of the office, but since when did any president benefit us in office? And when did any prophecy promise us all a profit? These televangelists been screwing my people for heavy pockets. Creflo need $1. Paula White need black angels. Babylon in her heart is looking so unfaithful. Dang. They'll tell you, Spoo, church hurt. Well, I swear I'm asking the church, if this Jesus is Hebrew, when Negroes die, who bows first? My people protect their frenemies. How? Mixed intimacy. Wow. Predictive programming vows to keep rolling this out. And y'all think I'm judging. Well, look now. Our blood screams from the ground. Our ancestors cry out. Look what our children allow. They won't return to God's commandments. And their Christian pastors say grace. Urban apologists lie to keep the feed on our plates. They say you are what you eat. We look like pigs in a blanket, cause some in love with the slumber and take the slop at the banquet. I feel my people been duped, desensitized to the truth. Effeminate be the men, emasculated at youth, and black women regroup, defeminize who disputes. It's like a drug to compete. Don't believe me, see the fruits. It's time we men rise up, take a stand in our place, redeeming all that's been lost. Let us restart with our faith. Them Hebrew, them Bantu scriptures, they're ours. We're the seed of the promise. Our king is soon to return. Nothing and no one can stop.
Man, I can listen to this all day. Creflo need $1 and Paula White needs some black angels. I'm gonna make a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt, y'all. So
Absolutely.
we're so grateful again. We want to say thank you, y'all, for joining us on Black Power Radio. We love you so very much. You better keep it black, keep it live, and keep it focused on our liberation. Power to the people.
Right on. Power to the people, Black.
Freedom or death. Free the land.